We do want to apologize for some phone interruptions that are happening during this recording. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have two individuals with us in studio, and we're going to be speaking about being single in church, both sides of the story. We normally hear from females because everybody wants to hear what the female thinks, and sometimes we turn the males and don't necessarily want to hear what the males are thinking. But today we are going to speak to both genders to hear what they are thinking on singleness. And with me, we have Eden and Miss Deborah. Hi, guys.
Hi, what's up?
Ah,
As
Nothing
custom,
much.
ladies go first. So, Deborah, would you mind going first?
No problem. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Deborah. I'm a student currently studying for my
Yo,
undergraduate degree. I'm also very active. Yes, I'm also very active in my church. Especially for young adult movement. I have a blog where I post short stories and poetry, and also on my Instagram. It's called Love Devra. That's LOVEDVRA. So you can check me out there. I'd love to interact.
nice.
Nice. So hi guys, good morning. This is Brian, otherwise known as Eden. Eden's mean peace, and I'm like to be a peaceful person. Working on being a peaceful person. That was not nice of you, Jade, but okay.
Sorry.
I pretty much I am a young individual who loves to play football. Currently studying also. Uh,
Oi.
yeah, Yui lifestyle. Pelican. And I also, as same as Deborah, is very active in my church. I'm a part of the Jamaica Baptist Union Youth Department, where I serve as the vice president for the
Where you
uniform group.
going, sir? Where you going, sir?
And and also play an active role in my church, which is Edgewater Baptist, as in the audiovisual ministry and the sports ministry as well. I love to interact, and I'm happy to be here.
Very nice.
Wait.
Hold on. You just have figured this out.
Wow.
You just have figured this out. You know what?
Wow, this is going to be great.
So
I'm ready. Let's
if
go.
you never realized it was him at the beginning, me not know. I don't know.
I,
Yeah. So
wow.
what we want to jump into first or to talk about is marriage treated as a benchmark for maturity and adulthood? Eden, I want to ask you first. Mr.
Oh,
Eden, aka Brian, aka so many things.
yeah, so many things. Benchmark for maturity and adulthood. They always say that age doesn't really define maturity, right? And
Mm-hmm.
marriage, I don't think being married is a benchmark for maturity and adulthood. I mean, there are a lot
Really?
of persons who are successful that are not married. So, and they are pretty mature and they have grown enough to show that they are of use in society. So being married is good, but it's not a benchmark to
That's
show
on the
maturity.
male's perspective of things, right?
Yeah.
All right, Deborah.
Mm. Well, on the woman's perspective, I would say yes, because we've seen many examples in, public and even in private, in popular culture, in Christian churches and other churches and things like that, where even if a woman has, she's successfully educated, she has a successful business or career, and she is, able to financially and holistically, depend on herself and even help others, you are still going to have people continuously asking her, when are you going to get married? Why are you not married? And if she says she doesn't want to get married, for instance, they're gonna be like, no man, you just don't meet the right man yet. You're going to change your mind. And they even though she will have all those accomplishments, it's as if they're undermining them to say, okay, yes, you have those things, but you still need to get married. So I would say for women, definitely it's a mark of maturity and adulthood for them, even though a lot of times we're able to do more than that. Not that marriage is bad, but
So is
that's
it
what
a thing of
that's what
them
tends to
saying,
happen.
okay, you are mature, but you need to get married, or you're an adult, yes, and as an adult, the next stage for you is to get married? Because when they say, if it is that you're not married, you're not an adult. I mean, that doesn't make no sense because people not going to stay teenagers or whatever forever. So what people are basically trying to say is, yes, you're an adult. Now it's time for you to get married. As you become an adult, all right, you need to get married. So in some way, it is seen as a benchmark. Like, okay, no, you're married. No, you're an adult. The next stage is marriage. The next
Yeah.
stage is having kids. Because as you get married 2 days after, so when is your child coming?
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. We can't.
Right?
That's basically an expectation that society sets for us. I mean, if we follow society's expectation, then we have a lot of person being married unhappy and so forth like that. So I mean, while it can be seen as a benchmark for me and for maybe I speak for the rest of the males, I mean, it's not a benchmark. Wouldn't be a benchmark.
Right, because people see, we tend to see men as whole people, and then if they get married, it's like it's not the defining
Yeah, because
moment
So
of their
as I
life.
said,
we know
But
weddings are not
everything
for
else,
males. Weddings is for the females. So yeah.
as you know, as you said that, what
yeah.
jumps out at me is
So Jay
what jump out at me as you said that is for males as they reach a certain age, if they don't have any child, it's a what castle.
yeah,
I want them. But you know,
right,
do not.
right.
I mean, they make it sound like a huge deal if you reach a certain age. So, like if you're reaching in your 30s and you
Mm-hmm.
have no child, them I wonder
Mm-hmm.
what go on. You see, not do nothing. Just what go on with it.
Oh yes, they're
Building
trying to
life
match it
matters.
up with
Building
people.
life matter.
Jay asked a question earlier, like based on what I was saying, if it's a thing where they use adulthood as a benchmark for women, as to say, okay, you're mature, so now you need to get married, or if it's a thing where if you're single and you're not necessarily sure if you're gonna say if you say you can get married. Like what I was thinking is based on even how we raise girls, it's always make sure you can cook for your man, and make sure you can clean so you can keep the house clean. Wash for your man and your
I think
husband
that's a
and
bad
all
way
them things.
in terms of
So
raising
if,
kids.
even if you're not life skills for
I don't think we have to
gender.
raise kids that way because you can't raise kids to say, oh, you must learn how to cook for man and you must learn how to clean for man. What about yourself?
Yeah,
Learn to cook
I
for
don't.
yourself.
I don't
Exactly.
think we should learn to raise children like that. In the sense of always being in their skin. Yo, make sure you can cook for your man. Make sure you can wash, cook, and clean. And for men, make sure you can provide for your woman. Make sure you can do this. Make sure you can do that. I mean, that's basically pressuring the
Mm-hmm.
kid to do what is
Mm-hmm.
something that they will eventually grow to adapt. Because I mean, if we're looking at it in this context, we will learn to love,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so forth. While we learn to love, we will learn these things. These things will be a part of us. So we know that, all right, so in order for me to keep my wife, I have to do certain stuff. I don't do certain stuff because I want to please her, but I do stuff because it is right to do.
Right. And the Bible also kind of give instructions on that. But my thing is, when you raise children and say, okay, you have to learn to do this, for it, or if you don't do this, you can't keep your partner. I mean, the Bible also speaks about the woman takes care of the home, and the man is the host. The man is the head of the household, and
Yeah.
he takes care of the family. He's the provider, and the woman takes care of the house. That is okay, but I mean, yes, I just feel like okay. when a woman know or a young lady grows up and she in her 30s going on to 40s and she can't find nobody, she's gonna say, yeah, but me learn how to cook and clean for a man up to now me can't find nobody.
Right.
Well,
Um,
just like
that also plays a problem. If a man now, sometimes you find that men are highly stressed because they're grown up to say, well, if you're not giving a woman the money, or if you don't provide for them a particular way, they might leave you and find somebody else who can provide or whatever it is. So men tend to now spend a whole heap of money trying to provide and take care and give woman and make sure, because if I'm not give a woman this kind of money, this woman gonna leave me. And that's not really the case of how it is supposed to be.
yeah, I mean, I think we miss the whole point of communication and comprehension. I mean, it's easy to dash a bag of money on women and expect them to stay, but also, I mean, if somebody's treating them better, then whoops.
Mm. Yeah. It's
And then also
it's
it's also it's
Go
as
ahead.
if you're undermining her as a human being. It's as if I'm paying you to stay with me.
Yeah, that's the next thing too.
It's almost prostitution.
In disguise.
Which is sad,
It's almost
And it's sad on the
prostitution.
man's part too, because I'm pretty sure he has other needs aside from I'm here to. I like it.
All the way I talk about,
we're
you
supposed
broke
to
up
be
right there
friends,
saying, all the way I talk about, what kind of need them need?
Oh no, I was talking about like a confidant, somebody who's a friend, somebody you can trust, you can really bounce off each other,
Right.
business partners, things like that.
And again, he also has needs in quotation. Let's leave it right
know
there.
what?
I don't know where you guys are going with that, but I just explained where I was coming from.
Right there. Needs in quotation. Let's leave it right there.
The second question to this is, are there adequate resources in the church to support single persons? Are there groups that the men can go and sit down and talk about and say, you know what, a single adult, or there are sometimes our men who say, you know what, I don't want to be in a relationship right now, I want to focus on Jesus. Or a woman say, all right, I'm single, I am single, and I want to find a woman, but how do I go about it? Are there, and vice versa for females also, are there these resources in church?
I just want to say I don't think I've ever heard of a man saying, oh, more focus on Jesus, so we don't want no lady yet. I don't think I've ever heard that term before.
It don't have to be Jesus. It can be goal oriented.
Yeah.
Building up himself, because the thing is, a woman is a distraction, and a man is a distraction.
Fair enough.
When you have a woman, a man now has to devote most of time there and make sure she's okay and whatever it is, and sometimes you have to kind of put yourself on the back burner. Sometimes. So
yeah,
I
but,
mean, go ahead.
To answer your question is, are there adequate resources in the church to support? I don't think so. I don't think churches speak entirely about the person being single and also loving your singleness. There are many groups that speaks about marriage, groups that speaks about grief counseling, groups that teach you about leadership and stuff, but there's not a group that will say, this is for single persons alone. Single ministry doesn't really exist in churches unless somebody decide that, let me see if I can start a single ministry. And even at that point, there are persons who are going to be shy to come out because, they don't want to be like, oh, I'm single.
And that's so bad.
I'm looking somebody and stuff like that. So, I mean, there aren't much resources. You'll probably find that on the street side, men can link up with them brethren and them sit down and talk about a whole heap of things and talk about the type of lady they want in their life. And they can get advice from men how to go about and pursue the lady of their dreams and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think the church should do that, should have a ministry.
If the church saying that they provide this family place or family setting for people to come and be comfortable and we are a family and all them foolishness there. My thing is, if it is that you are providing that, if you're providing something for married people, provide something for single people. I think they think single people really have no issues.
And that's wrong, because I mean single people have a whole heap of issues. And then when single people speaks of the issue, it's always go back to one term. Paul said, if you are burning, get married. So I mean, if that's so be the case, then we're gonna find people getting married for the wrong reason and so
Yeah,
forth.
True.
yeah. Because
Mm, mm.
we are from the woman's perspective, I also agree with, well, not just women's, but woman and a single person perspective. I agree with
Ah,
Brian. There are not any single ministries catered towards single people in the church. Even if there are single ministries, there tend to be single ministries that are preparing people to get married instead of single ministries that help you to enjoy your singleness and to be fruitful in Christ in your singleness. There, if you're not able to, like, if you don't have, for instance, people around you that you can speak to, then you may always find yourself trying to aspire towards having a relationship as if that is the only way to fully enjoy being in God, which is not true. And
yeah, it's not true.
it's something that, we've been taught that growing up, especially if you were someone who grew up in the church, we're totally taught that. So I know for me, it's a mindset that I've been um, intentionally breaking, because
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. I don't want it to be a thing where if I am, well, not just if I would like to get married, I don't want to be a thing where I feel like I'm going to be missing out or something. It's just going to be another season of my life. So okay, I enjoy my singleness. What did I learn there that I can apply to here? When I'm going to learn new things here in marriage,
Mhm.
I'm going to enjoy my singleness, because you get more freedom to do things a little bit more flexible when you're single compared to when you're married. And I don't know about what Brian was talking about, that Bible verse, if you're burning. It's the first time.
No, man, it does sense. It does made in Paul
No,
does
man, I
make
know.
that
No, like
mention.
I've heard it, but I never knew that people actually use that to try and encourage people to,
Lord have mercy, man. Lord have mercy, man.
People use it.
Man,
but but like
to
yeah, we need, and he's right, unless someone in the church, usually a single person, decides that, hey, we need this to happen so that other people can have it will happen. As you said, some people won't come, or those who come, they may come with the same mindset to find somebody, even though they're singles. Like, oh, singles, cool. I'm here to find somebody because I'm single. Instead of just thinking, okay, we're here to be friends and be around God. If
the
it
truth is,
so happens that you find somebody good,
Exactly.
that's fine. But just don't come with the mindset that I'm going to find somebody because it's a
the
single
truth is,
relationship.
the society makes it hard for you to be single and happy, because
That's
the society talks a lot about relationships and
Mhm.
yeah.
companionship
Mm-hmm.
and having somebody that is your own. And if it is that you don't have that kind of person, then you kind of feel away, and you want that comfort, and you want so many things, because the society makes you feel like, boy, you're an outcast if it is that you are single. You single? So are you single? Why somebody look nice like you single like that? So I mean, it is something that people constantly hear, and it is pressuring for persons. But it leads to the question: is finding a partner push more than having a relationship with God while in church?
Yeah.
Well, if finding a partner is more than, I mean, a relationship with God is always first. It's the first thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the relationship with God will teach you how to share a relationship with others.
Mm-hmm.
You will learn. God will reveal stuff to you so that it can help you in your relationship, not just with somebody else, but in your day-to-day relationship with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, having a relationship important. Having a relationship with God is more important than, me getting up and I go on a wild goose chase to find somebody else. Nah, I think
Well,
God thing.
not always that it's pushing you to go on a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
I would agree that it pushed more having a relationship like marriage is pushed more than you have a relationship with God. Even though we will talk about having a relationship with God, most of the examples used would be in the context of marriage and not necessarily in the context of like work or in the context of your family or in the context like school or just yourself, individually. And if you're not able to, as Brian had said earlier, if you're not able to comprehend those things, look beyond what they're saying and the things that resonate with you, then you may end up going on a wild goose chase, trying to find somebody and not truly being happy and content with God. And I agree with Jade. Society on a whole, not just the church, but society on a whole, definitely makes it a little, well, not little, bit hard for you to be single if you're not strong enough to stand up and have a good support system. You may crumble, especially as a woman. I mean, for men, it's not so bad,
It's not so bad. We like peace. We do like our. I'm just being honest. We do like our peace.
Women like their own peace,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, everyone.
Oh yeah, like women like their peace too, but I think a lot of times they're not able to fully appreciate it because they're being constantly pushed or coerced into looking for somebody, making yourself ready and available for somebody, for a man. It's like, why can't I just make myself ready and available to God first?
Yeah, that's
or
true.
foremost, and then use that, as Brian has said, to better the relationships with my family, better my church, better myself for my the wider society, the world, the business.
I think it comes down to us being happy with ourselves first. If we're not happy with ourselves first, we have a problem.
Because, I mean, how can you happiness with somebody if you're not happy with yourself first?
True.
Right, and that is the important thing because I think some people thrive on having company, thrive on being needed, right? So if it is that you don't feel like you're needed, you're wondering what's happening. Can you sit down there with your phone all day and all know your phone can ring? Nobody not even a check up to say, Deborah, you okay? You all right? You want me to bring this? You want me to take care of you? You want us to hang out together? Nobody. And then you go and you're having friends and they might get engaged, they might get married, they might have whatever. But we don't know sometimes what people are doing just so that they are able to stay in a relationship. You get me? So sometimes people sacrifice their happiness just because they want to let people know that I'm in a relationship. Sometimes, and it happens a lot in the church also, people stay in relationships because if I come out of a relationship, but at this age you come out of, to say, oh no, you have to find somebody because you're not going to find, you might not be able to find somebody else if it is that you come out of this right now. So I mean, we have that kind of pressure. We have that pressure from everywhere. Everywhere we go, we have that pressure. Sometimes our parents say, "You're not get married now. You're not coming out of this house. Nothing. You're just gonna be here. You're just gonna be here. Continue."
We're not moving. We're not moving.
And then on the other hand, personally, I've experienced just that situation you just said, where a lot of times I desire to, move out and live on my own, and then when I express it to people who have lived on their own for a while, they're gonna say, "No, man, stay with your family. It's safer. It's safer, and you get to save your money." And I'm just like, but that's not the only reason for wanting to live on your own.
I wanted to live on my own long time. I love my personal space.
Yes.
But I remember, I remember my father gave us each how many years. He said, all right, by 2 years you need to come out here. By whatever, you need to be out here. So when I went first, because I left my house to get married. When I left, he said, good. Finally, so we're counting
I
down now.
I can
We're counting
imagine
down
you
now for the adults to do. I
Oh my
think they were done. There were too much of us in that house. He needed us to come out of that house so that
one
he
by
could have
one.
peace of mind. So when I got married, I remember he said to the person, "Thank God,"
oh my
you know.
gosh.
Yeah, man, good on
Finally,
you.
finally.
No, that's not what I want. When I'm leaving, my parents must miss me. Okay? They'll be like, why? Why are you leaving? Yeah,
No,
that one.
that is, that is,
Yes,
but it's a thing of taking care of adults now.
yeah.
You know, so taking care of adults is a little bit more expensive. Every time this adult needs something, this you're not working. Why is it that you're still depending on me? You have been here for how long? Come on, you have to go.
Make sure you man, do something.
Right.
Wow.
Well, on this note, I'm gonna see if we can take a break and come back right after this. Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade in studio. On the phone we have Eden, aka Brian, aka One Bag of Something. Now we have Deborah, and we are talking about being single. And I'm
Yeah.
sharing that. Listen, being single in the church sometime is no pretty tea. It's no pretty deed. I mean, I think I enjoyed my single times though, because I liked going out, getting to know people, and then going home by myself with nobody to stop me,
Nobody can say you're
nobody to cause no drama, nobody to be questioning. So what you doing with the money? What you did with the money? So no, look here.
can I
I
say
like these.
wow.
So I had enjoyed being single. Nobody, listen, there is nothing nice than being single, whether church or not. There's nothing nice
Yeah.
like being single, being able to go home. You don't have nobody to get up to do anything for more than yourself.
Mhm.
You can sleep anyhow you want, sleep in a bed. You can, and listen, people have said to me, you're not gonna find nobody. You know, and I think I have said at a point, you know what? Let me see if I can start going out on a date. And when I did, I was like, this is not for me. This
This,
is
this
not
now
for me.
we,
It never worked out really.
you know, honestly, persons, and Deborah said it earlier that you should really enjoy being single. I mean,
Yes, you should.
why it's good to get married. You know why it's good to get married and have children, right? And you know why it's good to have somebody you can, as Deborah said, a confidant, somebody that you can relate to, like in the wee hours of the night, you can call and say, yo, you know, they're having this problem and stuff like that. While that is good, it's also good to have time for yourself. You have more time for yourself, time to build,
Yep.
to do a lot more stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And not
And
only
you
that,
dress
you
up
get
for
to
yourself.
learn more about yourself. You get to dive deeper into your interests, things that inspire you. So all right, so even if you don't aspire to marriage, that's fine. You still be a whole person. You still have a happy, fruitful life, and that's great. If you do
Mm-hmm.
aspire to marriage, you will also have those qualities, and in turn, you know how to teach somebody to love you, and you will be able to be open to learning how to love somebody else. And now you become a team because you literally going to become a team. You're supposed to be my best friend. You know what I mean? Like if I don't, I already said before, if we don't like ourselves, if we're not happy with ourselves, we're not going to really make other people around us happy. We're going to be
And,
miserable.
and the truth about it,
So if you know.
the truth about all of this situation is, and I'm talking from experience where that is concerned, no matter how many people pressure you, don't get married because of being pressured. Don't get married because you're not happy with yourself. Because at the end of the day, I was gonna say a night, but at the end of the day,
But a
you
night,
only you only have yourself. You only at the end of the day, you only have yourself to be accountable for with
yeah,
how
that's
you
true.
are happy. And I'm saying that because when I got married, I love being married and I love being single. When I
Mhm.
got married first, I got married expecting that the other person is gonna make me happy, which
Yeah,
was which was the worst thing to do because
wow.
you have to you have to be happy for yourself before you even be with somebody, because sometimes they themselves don't even know what happiness is.
Yeah,
They
that's true.
themselves is not even happy. So you sitting down now putting that burden on them. So
Trying to
yeah,
ensure that you're
okay,
happy.
but you're not making me happy today. But you're not making me happy. But you're not. It's a burden because they never sign up to make you happy. They never sign up to be your happiness every day. They signed up so both of you can come together and add to each other.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it's selfish for individuals to depend on somebody for happiness. You
It
know,
is selfish, but some people don't know better. Some people
you
don't know
know,
better because some persons, oh, this is somebody. All right, let's get married. They don't even know themselves. They don't know what make them happy, what don't make them happy. They don't know nothing. So you're getting married to somebody. You expect that every day. They're going to make you laugh. Sister, not every day they want to make you laugh.
married a
It's not
clown, then if that be the case.
Not clown every day. Come on.
the expectations that we are having, the expectations that we're having of persons is wrong, because we're giving them or we're putting them in a situation where they now have to go try and find that, and then it's just gonna be so much, and
It's not only that,
just
it's
just
not
be
only expectation
happy.
alone. It's not really on the expectation alone. Right? The fact that you have persons who don't communicate these things. You have persons going in relationship and they don't really say much about themselves, and then again it comes back down to expectation. There's certain expectation that the other party don't know about, because you have person who set expectation where they're in relationship where the other person don't know.
True.
They,
Nope,
don't have a clue what to do.
Been
And
up.
when
not
the
at all.
expectation is not met, it seems that it's a boy, oh, he not love me again, or she not love me again, or she not happy again. No, fam.
And
Nah.
I've been in that situation before, and the person had many expectations, and I was just like, I don't
Let me
know.
know this.
Like we spoke before,
Yeah.
like what we, individually what we like, and then together we're like, okay, cool. We just help each other work and go along, and then it turns out they had dreams and hidden expectations that they didn't share with me. And by the time they started sharing them with me, they were just frustrated and upset because I wasn't fulfilling these things. But I'm like, but I told you what my focus, is right now. So if it is that you have
I
the
mean,
to share now, then you share them now and then we discuss it, but don't try and use it to manipulate me.
yeah, I
Make
get,
you feel like
yeah,
some,
I get fooled
you
by that
know,
already. I mean, I was talking with someone, and I mean, we're getting to know each other, and we're cool and everything. So now we say, all right, let's start this. Let's see if we can steward this relationship. All of a sudden, them leave job now and want to travel the world and go where. No, we never talk about it. Blood. That not go. What?
they own a private plane.
So what is going to do? We're going to now just leave our jobs
The
and
man,
just travel. And just travel.
And we didn't talk about it first. Nothing.
No, we never. No, sir, no. This not keep. This not keep.
What you doing?
You, the party has ended. That is what it is. This not going to work. I want to know. Are single people seen as temptation?
Lord,
single people seen as temptation. Temptation
not
to
not what's the word I'm looking for? It's subtle. It's subtle. At least, yeah, it's subtle from what I've observed. It's very subtle.
How
What you say,
so?
Brian?
single people seen as temptation. I don't know how to answer that. I mean, persons are easily tempted by anything. I mean, whether
Yeah,
it be
that
single
makes sense.
or marriage. I mean, married persons, like, I've heard of cases where women say that you don't like married man. I've heard that married man can them like single woman. You know? So
But like
I mean, yeah.
when you come on to the question, it's like if they're seen as temptation to stray from your Christian walk, because as you say, there are different types of temptations, but we tend to focus on the very obvious ones that, especially in the church, more than those those are the ones that we kind of call taboo. So we focus on like sexual temptations.
Yeah.
And so if you're single then and you enjoy yourself and you're probably, very fit, you're very beautiful, you look nice and you're kind and all them nice qualities.
Yeah.
Some people might see you and be like, maybe you're a temptation or you're going to make people stray. So we're trying to hurry up and match you with somebody. I know it happened in some churches, as you reach a certain age, they must say, all right, no time to get married now, and it comes up when in how you see like when single people interact is like everybody start asking, oh nah, they like each other. It's like
Yeah.
just friends though. Like
Yeah, what is
we're
that?
we're just comfortably in ourselves that we're able to relate to each other in a way that's not stiff and restrictive. Like we have self-control. We
Yeah.
know that we're just friends, so we're not tempted in that way. Like you may, as you guys said, there are other temptations, which when you have good friends that you can talk to and reason, it can help you overcome those things. So if we see single people as temptation, then it can really, really hinder that. And I think that's why a lot of people marry and be
You're still bad because if media church, I mean single, I mean see a nice man, I say, why am I to stay so look good? No, I'm tell one of my sister them and me say, no girl look on him, and we have to talk about it because everyone
I think
me
maybe
have
yeah, but you're gonna admire him, but he's not a temptation for you to walk away.
me,
Not
I
admire him,
don't get
nothing
to
wrong with that.
praise and worship, or if him going to church, and I turn my head and now look on him when him a walk and admire him, but me so you talk to me, we not talk. I'll make him listen to and too good at my worship, and if I become Muslim, we look on that and then.
for me, I think that
That's a
one
little bit of
there's him to think of you in another way. So once them admire you and they reach a point where they, yo, you don't say that boy they hot or that girl they hot, they're going to also have other thoughts in their head. So I mean, yeah, it's tempting.
Yeah.
But nobody tempting.
Well, not for me. It's hard for me. Like I cannot.
You don't see no man coming to church and get tempted,
I love
especially if you're single.
I love
Deborah, you're not look on them
I
finger.
love-
You're not look on them finger, Deborah, if them have ring or not.
Actually, I've never actually. No, I've never. Maybe I just don't see anybody that catch my eye like that.
my
Like, I will notice few
my
faces.
eyes light up like pepper light because I love to see a lady in stilettos,
You
I
know
love-
what?
ladies in ears. Like my
Of
must
course.
catch a fire. When the one, I'll be like, my God.
Of course. Yeah, taboo.
Like I've never actually.
What I want.
People coming into the church, but my thought is like, oh, cool, I've never seen this person before. Well, then my next thought is, I wonder what age they are. Can they join the young adult movement? Like, I'm not thinking. I'm not looking for a ring. Nothing. I don't really care. I don't mind business with that.
I normally do that, like think of them like I want to know the age so them can join the installation. So I can get to know. But
Like, yeah, more.
yeah, I just want to get to know the person, you know? It's because I seen the person, but I catch the person, you know.
Of course. Because you see the person nice. I wonder if the person gonna be able to do this. Someone, and you start
Yeah.
your interest is there because we're human beings. So single people, everybody. Let me tell you something. I see a number of them coming to church sometime when I was single, coming married now, praise God. But when I single and I look and I see some men, I'm gonna say, yes, God, Jesus, keep me near the cross. I'm gonna try to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to sing him because all them walk and when them smell good. I don't know what the word. I don't know. I am not the type of woman like how you are, but make a man smell good and look good.
Look good and
Look good and smell good.
remember that shit. That's first.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Me?
I've never seen them in the church, but like when I watch, like I follow a lot of Christians who share their faith and think online.
Yeah.
Come on, my eyes them day. I eyes those, but I've never nothing
Listen.
person.
Deborah, make a pass to your church one day.
You know what? You know what? All right. What I want to know is I'm gonna ask just one more question. What I want to know is, how is it that you see people? How, like, like you see somebody and you're interested, and then you go hear them, oh, my brother, your spirit drop fully because you never expect brother relationship. You're expecting something. How do you deal with people friend zoning you?
Wow. I mean, family zone, friend zone is a whole different ballgame. Especially when you are trying to now move into the next phase. You have known the person, you have talked to the person, you have shared common interests, you have shared stuff with the person, and you're now going to say that, yo, I think I can meet this girl or I can meet this boy, somebody in my life now. And then after a sudden you just hear, so bro, what go on? Yo sis, what go
No,
on?
sir. No,
That true enough, I remember once I was walking with this girl. I was talking to this girl, close friend, and I was saying, yo, I'm going to see her. I'm going to make a move now, And when we meet up with some friends and she introduced, oh, guys, this is my bro right here.
no, sir. No,
Well, I couldn't even introduce myself. I had this
No,
style when I want to get out of a crowd, I just go on my phone, act like I get a phone call, and I just receive a phone call right there and then and
that's
tell her,
right.
yo, to leave, cause
Yeah,
so
funny.
it's,
Funny.
it is rough, especially if the
I mean,
person is not on the same page. And this is why it's good for persons to be on the same page, the same mindset, because it can be heartbroken for anybody who decided to.
I don't know. What is that, Deborah?
Communicate. Let me tell you, from a woman's perspective, I don't want to feel like I'm being flighty. So I see everybody as friends. I'm not going to assume that you treating me nice is because you're interested in me. You could just be treating me nice because you're treating me nice, and that's because
So you might agree or no?
treating me nice because you're a nice person and you treat everybody that way.
But that's one way.
I'm not going to assume, say, rate it, and even if we share common interest, to me, I'm just like, okay, it's just a new friend, and we're just getting as friends. So
Deborah,
until that person says,
no, hold on, Jade. What I can understand, Deborah. What I can understand what Deborah is saying. That is true. Because persons are used to being genuinely treated nice. Because you have friends, you have persons who treat people nice, and to society.
Hold on, but my thing, bro. All right, let me tell you. For me, I have a whole heap of male friends. I prefer having male friends than females. But I like the woman thing. I prefer the man thing. I love the man thing where that is concerned. Right? So my father said to me one day, do you know that these men that you have as friends, or Jade, these men that you have as friends, whenever it is that they're doing all sorts of stuff, that they're more than see you as just a friend, right? And I'm like, no, daddy, no, nothing like that. Nothing like till I grew up and had sense. So a man don't go out of his way.
Yeah,
A man don't go out of his way to do all sorts of stuff. I mean, you see somebody and talk, and the cordial thing is nice and the nice friendship, but when you see them start doing certain things, say, all right, something is up in something. If it was just a little, whatever, I want to joke around, I want to talk around, and it's nothing big. But when them start doing big stuff, brother, it's stuff.
But again,
that's the thing, like, let me tell you, a lot of times they get heartbroken and them not do the big things, them not do the big stuff. So how she going to?
Yeah, but at the same time, Jade, I mean, you have males and you have both gender who do nice things for people and is not interested in any type of way. And we have to raise our hats towards respect.
You are a nice person, and both of us are friends.
Right. Yeah.
So that could also be used as an example. But I'm just saying, normally, or I think I get what Deborah said, and I understand because I have male friends like that who are really just my friends. I see them as just friends. The truth is, sometimes we don't know what they see us as. The truth also is that sometimes they don't want to cross a boundary because if it is that no, they turn it into something they probably won't get back that friendship again after.
Yeah, true.
And it is what it is. But for me, I don't necessarily go out and tell a man, say, say I like him, I'm not doing it. Me never make feet. So I want to have that discussion first before we go out in public. No, because if anything, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say, oh, this is just my friend, and this is just because I'm not in a situation to go build up my expectation and if you go here, say, oh, it's just my sister. What?
See?
And
Mhm.
me already kiss you.
Communication.
Me, I think about kiss you. And how the kiss I feel. And I could tell people say me and your sister different. After a while, after that happened now when you introduce me as sister, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Because I'm done think about you a certain way. And come make me feel this way. That's what I'm saying.
And
Yeah.
that's why at the beginning I was saying I'm intentionally breaking myself out of that thing where I realized that I was like looking at people, especially if I found them attractive, like trying to say, oh, maybe we could whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm shortening. I feel like I'm devaluing the kind of relationship that we can have. I don't know everything about myself and everything that I would like to do as yet. So I don't want to put anybody in that category, and then I'm gonna have to like give up of the things that I would like to do. No want somebody who can work with me for achieve, right? So I don't think of them in that way. So I don't build up the expectation. So I won't feel down if all these things. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, I am your sister and you're my brother. Same page. So I was saying communicating because even though we're not, especially if we're just getting to know each other, I'm not going to know everything about you. I'm not going to know if you're just one of those people that just like to do big things with people because they're your friends and you really appreciate them, or you're just one of those people that just feel the need once you see it and you can't do it. I can't assume. So that's what I'm saying. It's better for them to communicate. And on my part, I'm realizing like the same thing that Jade said. Sometimes guys listen to me, I didn't realize that they actually liked me more than just a friend. So I have to ask them now. Like I'm asking when them do certain things, like, is this for XYZ or whatever? Which is
But
but I want to be clear, so I can tell you, all right, they're right now.
But sometimes you have to be careful when you ask because a person might be offensive when you say, "Yo, are you doing this for me because you like me?"
Yeah, true.
So,
I don't ask. I don't want to ask.
I think people intentions get clearer the more you get to know them.
Yeah.
The more you get to know somebody, the more you see their intentions, the more you realize that, okay, this is what they want. Because persons are going to be intentional about stuff that they really want. If you're really aspiring something, you're intentional about it. So the more you get to know somebody, you'll know if they're really having a real interest in you, or they're just being knife fake.
Yeah.
True.
Because I know for a lot of girls, like I had this conversation with the young adult group, and right. So as I was saying is that if you're as a guy, because usually the guy we expect the guys to make the first move. So if as a guy you are being intentional with this young lady, this young woman, and she's not giving you the kind of reciprocation that you would like, maybe you're not communicating clearly enough. You need to be very direct and say, hey, I like you. But if you're gonna be direct, you already know them on a certain level, so you're gonna know how to be direct with them, right? So you're just gonna have to do that, and then you'll know. And that's why I think a lot of times they teach young men, well, at least a lot of young men need to learn that you don't do things for a woman in expecting to get a certain result back. You know what I mean? Like don't buy a gift for her and expect her to date you just because you buy her a gift. You have to talk to her and see her as a person, because you are going to be setting up yourself for disappointment as a man, and then you're probably going to sour the relationship with her. You're probably going to lose a friend, So you have to be very clear in your mind. So if once you get to know the person, it's different for everybody. So of course you have to understand nuance as well. So,
Yeah.
But I'm
but
curious
I would say
where this is
definitely
coming
be
from. Because
clear about your intentions and be open to the fact that okay, this person may not want to. So you just have to be like, I'm still going to shoot my shot, but and in case they're not there with me, then you can still keep the friendship and not sour it by
you know,
saying something mean.
I've had too many interactions or too many episodes of these things taking place where I just thought myself and the persons were friends, but then they start with some extravagance. And
Mm,
I'm like, no. And I mean, in the end, they felt away, but you don't do that to people, whether
exactly.
male or female, and expect that it should be okay. Because I remember there was a circumstance where apparently in church, I was single, and there's a guy who apparently I thought we were friends. He obviously thought there was more to it than that, but I just thought we were friends. And I remember around this Valentine's Day, I went to church, and after church, I saw big Valentine's Day basket, gift, and everything, and I'm like, "But I
The young,
don't like you like this.
the
I
young,
don't like you like that."
what he wants.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, say something, don't come shock me because I'm not good at being shocked with these things, and I don't know how to handle it well. And I mean, there was another time I was at school, and when it was a Christian school also, when I was at college, and
Mhm.
a guy did the same thing and decided to stand up outside and proclaim love. No, brother, I said, what is happening? And I mean, I talk to. It cannot be me you're talking to. So
I mean,
there,
I've seen cases like those as well.
Like
I think people need to communicate well and say, hey, we're good friends, but I like you a little bit more and whatever, than embarrass themselves. Don't embarrass yourself.
exactly.
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
That's just for me. So probably, Brian, you never communicated with that young lady well before. So
Well,
she saw you as brother Brian or brother Eden, while see her as something else.
brother
Like,
B.
you know what?
I mean, we live and we learn. And like you guys said a while ago, is basically communication. And like I said, person intention get clearer the longer they continue to know more about them. You see their true intentions and stuff like that. So
Right. I mean, it
Yeah.
is what it is, but we just want to
mm,
let people know out there that in church being single is not even, it's not, I don't think it's supposed to be a hard thing to be in church and being single because already we face that hardness in society.
yeah.
And church
Yeah.
is really people coming from the society together to worship. So, I mean, it's the same people, them. But I think the church should do more in terms of having something for single people to sit down and relate. That's even if the single people want it, because sometimes they don't want it. Because as Brian said, they don't want people to know that they're single because
Mhm.
probably
Mm.
they think that they're gonna get looked down upon or something.
Or people are gonna
Um,
try match them up, play matchmaker.
Like,
okay, or
I know,
even that.
I know Christian mingle. No, uh-uh. I
And
know,
I mean, it's something that becomes uncomfortable. It becomes kind of uncomfortable, especially if that young person or that person generally don't want a relationship because sometimes we don't even know what persons are going through. Some people make out of a bad relationship and don't want to go into anything else.
yeah.
And they just want to enjoy being single. But as they reach church, no, you and you need to get
Right?
gonna need to they're gonna need to be together. And we make the
Mhm.
situation actually worse instead of better.
Worse.
All right,
And
and
that
So
has happened to me so many
so
times. So many times.
because
So many times.
imagine and somebody just start talking, and then all of a sudden you start say, so when you're gonna make her misses, when you're gonna make it miss that, like when you
Right?
yeah,
yeah,
it becomes uncomfortable. Are you
yeah,
saying that I can't get to know this person before? Well, what happened? To get me? So I mean, we're facing we're being faced with all of this. We're being faced with all of this, but we ought to know that singleness is it's not bad to be single. It's not bad to be a Christian and being single. It's not bad to enjoy your singleness. Love on yourselves. And enjoy being single. Go out and do stuff by yourself. You don't need to have a companion to do something with.
Or
You
go
must
out with
learn
your
to
friends, you know?
go with a
Out
friend.
with your
You know,
friends.
it don't have to be the opposite sex that you're going out with.
Yeah.
True.
I
I mean,
used to go there when I was with my girlfriend all the time, so I eat ice cream and just enjoy yourself. I mean, you have to know how to do things,
y-
you know.
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
you,
I
I
have
mean,
a question.
you know, Jade, hold on.
mhm.
You know, Jade, I will not go there with a bunch of meals, though. Go eat ice cream. That not got me.
No, but
That not got me.
fine. I'm just talking as a woman, we do it, men probably not doing it, but I
Women,
mean, find other things to do.
Is it
You
a
know?
thing where I am like in the church? Is it a thing where it's hard to be friends with the opposite gender? A lot of times I know for me, like I can pick up now. Now I can pick up when they start having more interest in me, you know, past a friend, and I'm just like, how am I going to handle this? Most of the time I don't say anything
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, all right, I'm just pretend as if this is not happening right now. But
No, don't
I would
pretend. Try
like to
sweeping it under the
like to
carpet.
know how to maneuver that. I would like to know how to maneuver it and not like crush anybody's spirit or anything like that.
For me, actually, it's not a matter. You're going to crush somebody's spirit. Somebody's going to feel offended by by you not having the same mindset like them, right?
With the same
And
feeling.
the same feeling, and that's just life itself. That's just a part of life. Heartbreaks, sad moments, um, stuff like that. But you have to be true to yourself. It's all about being true to yourself. I'm being honest.
Thank you.
There's no way you can see somebody showing, a feeling of moving towards, just moving from a friendship to, being, to making you his girlfriend or soft girlfriend, and you be like, all right, cool. You know, so you know, so yo, this is not the case. No, I'm not ready for it. I didn't even see it like that, sir.
No man, it's not like yeah, I agree with you. But I know for me, it's not like they're trying to be ask me to be a girlfriend. It's like
Yeah.
the same thing where they have that expectation, but they don't communicate anything.
Yeah.
So I would like sometimes I even brush it off and be like, all right, it's just being a friend. Like okay, it's like that. It's not like. And then sometimes you see them having, they look at you a little different. They don't really say it. But you
I
realize that
don't
they
know what you're talking about. You know what? I don't know what you're talking about because all of my mean them very direct, man. I just get it straight. I
Jade,
don't get the go around and them look at people different ways, or I just get a
Jade,
direct
remember
thing. Uh-huh.
your time is different from our time, I'm not saying
You
that.
know what?
I'm not saying that you're old, but remember that persons back then were more direct. Persons were more direct at that back then. Persons were more direct.
no man, they ask after a while, but I pick up before they ask. Like I pick up
Miss
the
them
interest before
people
they
don't
ask.
ask after a while. It is Jade. Jade, we feel like
Yes, Jay.
we want us to be together. We feel like whatever it is, that's what I get. I don't get the one, but I went up and down. I guess it depends on, as Brian said, depends on the age group. Because let me just leave it there. But yeah, I'm not gonna leave it there for today. Yes, because I believe that talking about this needs part two because there are
Yeah.
other things that needs to be spoken about whereas being single is concerned. It's not just these aspects, but there are so many other little issues or issues that need to be dealt with or dissected,
True.
But look at us, we have gone way over the hour.
Wow.
So I wanna thank I wanna thank you both for having this conversation and for being so interactive. It was a great session that we have. And I want to thank everybody out there for even listening to this podcast. And we'll definitely be back again next week, Tuesday. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Jay.